Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to show you all of my beauty favorites for 2019. The year is over. I literally went through my collection, was like, okay, what were the items that I would gravitate towards more often than not out of my entire beauty collection? I figured if I did a BoxyCharm 2019 favorites, why not just do like a general beauty favorites for 2019? If you're interested in seeing what my go-tos and hands down favorites were for 2019, keep watching. I'm gonna start off with bases and we're gonna work our way through like how creating a full face situation would work. I have this Purlisse Blue Lotus. It's a moisturizer. So this is a daily moisturizer and it contains 30 SPF sunscreen, but it also helps prep your skin for makeup and it does not leave like this white tint. There's no like flashback when you use this, and I loved this for vacation. Then we have this other primer, which is by Touch in Sol. This is a no problem prime essence. And then the last one I want to show you guys is the Wander Beauty Glow Ahead face oil. I know what you're thinking, a face oil. Well, if you're new to the makeup game, then I know, I hear the concern, but this is absorbed by your skin so well. It does not make your foundation or your skin look super oily. I will tell you though, if you have combo and dry skin, this is amazing for you. But if you have super oily skin, I would say stay away from this unless you already own this in your collection, don't know how to play around with it. Then I advise apply this on your face, use a powder, and then apply your foundation on top of that powder. I hear you, it sounds crazy, but it works. I want to show you guys my favorite illuminating bases, and they are by Charlotte Tilbury. No, not everyone needs these. Not everyone has to have them or implement them as part of their makeup collection. However, I ended up grabbing these and I'll tell you exactly how I use them, but I do want to tell you what shades I have. The lighter version is in 4 medium, which actually works very well for my skin tone. So if you're of olive skin tone and about my complexion, the number 4 should work for you. And then if you're a little darker, then you can do number 6. These are very sheer. It is kind of like an illuminating CC cream. It doesn't have a lot of color. It has a little bit of a tint to it. You can definitely apply this on its own if you find a shade that works for your skin complexion, or you can apply foundation over it. I use it either way. The lighter foundation actually balanced this out and it just looked amazing. If you go back to videos of like midsummer last year, my skin was super glowy. It's because I had either this on its own or this one with a foundation over it, and it just looked super amazing. Again, you don't need this in your collection, but it's still nice to have. If you have it, it's nice to actually use it because it does wonders for your makeup. Out of all the high-end foundations that I own, I found myself really gravitating more towards these over here. So this is the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. This one is in 47S Tan Deep Sand. At first, it really depends because if I'm not tan, then this is like maybe a 0.5 shade darker than my skin complexion. And I can always pull it off because I apply my concealer a little lighter. So I blend it into my foundation. It always looks great. But in the summer, this is spot on my shade. This is breathable, lightweight. It's not this flat, drying matte foundation formula. It is really nice. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This one's one of the most recent ones that I've tried in the past few months, and I've been gravitating towards it a lot because it is very similar to this, except it just feels a lot lighter and it doesn't emphasize all like the craziness that can happen under your makeup. You know what I mean? This foundation does not cling to my dry patches, to my bumps, doesn't make it look any worse. If anything, it just kind of like masks it up for me a little bit. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't cake up on me, and I just love this foundation formula. It is amazing. I have 2 hands down favorite drugstore foundations. This one here is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation in 485, and then the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Foundation. This one is in Natural Beige $50. These two match me to the T. I don't have to go up one, go down one. These two match my skin color so well. It's freaking ridiculous. Now, this is the first time earlier this year that I purchased this foundation over here, and I will definitely repurchase it because it is beautiful. It honestly, it resembles the Charlotte Tilbury ones in terms of description and formula to me. And this one over here is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Foundation. I actually have repurchased. This is the second bottle. These two, no matter what, as long as they don't get discontinued, I will continue to purchase from the drugstore. Let me show you guys some concealers. I have the Tarte, which is my favorite of all time. And I have it in 2 different shades because it works for me in 2 different shades. However, I do want to show you guys the favorite drugstore concealers that I own and I've been using all year round. So these two are frigging amazing. I ended up picking up the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This one is in a Latte 375. Beautiful concealer. Guys, this also has a huge doe foot applicator. This one really surprised me. This is the Makeup Revolution Super Size Conceal and Define in C10. It has a huge doe foot applicator. The formula is beautiful. Neither of these crease under my eyes as long as I set it, obviously, with a powder, which we will get into next. I ended up getting this because you guys were saying, girl, you need to try the Makeup Revolution concealer, the Conceal and Define, and you guys were friggin' right. Since I just said I'd talk about some powders, let me get into that real quick because I only have 2 that I want to show you. Can you tell? I think maybe Charlotte Tilbury, I'm becoming obsessed with her formulas and her brand. This Huda Beauty powder, it's just beautiful. I love it. I like the sifter. I like the packaging. The powder smells amazing and it kind of reminds me of like a perfume or a mist that, I know it sounds bad, but it's not a bad thing because it just sounds, it's like very youthful scent. It's a very youthful scent. It reminds me of like something that my grandma used to like spray. I know it sounds bad, but again, it's a very youthful, beautiful, pretty scent. So I got this one in Banana Bread. And then I do have another package that is just like a little gunky, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. This is a skin perfecting micro powder into medium. I can't open this up because I know it's not gonna spill everywhere, but as you guys can see, it doesn't really match my skin tone because I use this mainly under my eyes. This powder is beautiful with a very like thin brush to just powder under your eyes. It doesn't have to be super fluffy. It picks up a very, very small amount and it just like, you dust it under your eyes. It brightens under your eyes. You don't have to bake with it. It just looks beautiful, brightening, very lightweight, and it doesn't cling on to any like dark spots in your eyes or any of like our crow's feet and that kind of stuff. It look good, girl. It looks really good under your eyes. I'm gonna show you 2 bronzers that I've really been loving and I've actually had them just sitting in front of me. One of them is by LOV Love. That's the brand, and it is the Glorious Highlighting and Bronzing Palette. All 3 of these powders are beautiful, but there's just something about this bronzer shade. So yeah, and this is actually what I have on my cheeks right now. It's not like super matte, but it has a little bit of an illuminating property to it that it just makes your skin look super airbrushed and flawless. And then the other one is the bronzer in the Bombshell palette by the Juno & Co. It is not too red. It is really pretty and it doesn't hurt that it's in a quad that you can just grab and go. This one here, the only thing is it does have kick up, but it's super pigmented. You have to be very light-handed, girl, because if not, it can get messy. When it comes to blushes, I really like to get creative. So I like to use different shades. I'm not all about just the pinks. I can do oranges. I've done reds. I've done berries. I've done bronzers. This palette I received some time ago in a beauty subscription. I want to say it was the Slay Glam box. And JCat does have some hits and misses. So it really depends what product you're getting from them, whether or not you're going to love it. But they did this palette, right? I've talked about it on this channel so many times. You have your corals, you have an orangey shade, you have a pinky shade, you have matte, you have a deep kind of like strawberry shade. This palette is just beautiful to just pack and go. But if you want to restrict yourself to a 1 shade type of situation, then the City Color Beat Matte Blush is like my 1 pan favorite. This one is in Guava. I actually have no blush on today. I might as well put some on now. Look, it's so pigmented. I think these are like $3, $4, or $5 or so. But look, the pan is huge. It'll last you forever, and it is really pigmented. Highlighters. Some of my favorites. Oh my god. Okay, so I ended up getting this one. This is a Supreme Frost in Frozen Peach by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I really like this one because it complements my olive skin tone very much. So let me just show you guys. See what I'm saying? The only thing is it does emphasize your texture, so if you have texture and you don't want to emphasize, don't go for this. But there's just something about the way it like captures the light, and if you wet it, even more like in your face. Absolutely love that one. And then I also ended up digging this out this year out of my collection. This is a Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold. I liked this one because you never really go through a whole pot of highlighter. So I have 3 different choices to choose from. This third one, as you can see, has been really loved. This is my favorite. This is a real gold. Like, you can use a brush with it, or you can just use your fingers like I'm doing here. It is really soft. It is not glittery in any, oh god, in any way. Super pigmented, and it just gets the, like, if you want to just be glowy. This is another Charlotte Tilbury product I just noticed. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I am an eyeshadow junkie. Palette junkie, to be more specific. These two over here are amazing. These are by Alter Ego, and they're affordable palettes, but look at this color. This is like almost all mattes. You do have 3 shimmer shades. These are beautiful dupes for high-end brands. The pigmentation is there, the blendability is there. These are like my tones, and I love how just versatile these palettes are. This one is the Goddess palette, as you guys can see here on the inside, but look, okay, these are my go-to palettes. Like, if I want to go super simple, these are the 2 palettes that I gravitate towards. These are the palettes that I used today. The next palette is the new Nude palette by Huda Beauty. There are so many dupes out there for this palette, so I'm gonna say that I own 2 dupes, and they're great dupes. I had this one before I even accessed the dupes. So the fact of the matter is there's nothing like these foiled formulas, guys. It's just like everything. I absolutely love this palette, and I gave this palette out maybe 3 times as a giveaway here on my channel. Everyone was loving it. Also, stay tuned because I have another giveaway that I'm announcing very, very soon, and it's Huda Beauty. So just be on the lookout for that. And the last palette I'm going to show you guys, which is my hands down favorite, and I've had it for a couple of months now, and I just can't get over it. And I've kept it here in front of me on my vanity, is the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. Let me open her up. The packaging is everything. The fact that you have mattes, sequin, metallics, and glitters in one palette, everything works so well together. It was really well thought out, and to be honest, I didn't know that sequin was a formula until I got this palette, and it's just beautiful. I can't wait for Volume 2. I can be a little sensitive when it comes to eyeliners. The first one is the Milk Makeup Longwear Gel Eyeliner. This one is in black. It is really comfortable, super dark on the waterline. It doesn't really move around, and like, my eyes are pretty sensitive sometimes, and it doesn't get all ugly and gunky in the center, like in the inner corners, which can look kind of gross a lot of the time. This doesn't do that. Then we have the Esquito liner. It is waterproof because it lasts a really long time on the waterline, but it does move around for me on the inner corners. I've never lined the top portion of my eye, so I can't tell you how well that works. I usually just use these pencil liners for the waterline, and this one, although it lasts a really long time on the inner corners, it does move around. This one has been like a really good one for a really long time, and it's the Ardency in Modster liner. I ended up grabbing this because Candy Johnson was saying that this was like the best, and then Jaclyn Hill said the same thing, and I was like, well, if they said it, then I need it. This has been a sharpenable pencil that I've used for the longest. It's really good, super comfortable, very black. Is it completely waterproof? No, it is not. And it can tend to kind of bunch up on the inner corner if you over apply, so a little bit will go a very long way. The NYC liquid liner has been my hands down favorite for a few years now. Crispy was the one that got me into it. It looks like this. It is a really wet one. I would say if you're gonna grab this, make sure you know what you're doing, because it can get a little messy. And when it gets a little messy, it can drag, and it takes a little bit to dry, just a little bit. And then we have this one in terms of like a pencil. This one, if I can open her. In terms of pencil, this one has been my favorite brush tip liner. This is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. If you want to use an actual pencil because you want to be able to be more precise, have more precision and control, this one is the one to get. It is not felt tip. It is always soaked in product, but it doesn't leak anything. It's just, I don't even know what to say. Just get it. One that I actually really enjoyed is the Huda Beauty one. On one side you have the pencil, and then on the other side you do have a brush tip. Formula is beautiful. And it dries really fast, so that's great. It is pretty waterproof. It's hard to get off of your lids. You do get a beautiful sharp wing. It is so opaque and black. It's crazy. It's a nice matte. Let's get into brows. My two go-to for the entire year 2019 are these two products over here. I have the PYT Beauty POV Brow Pencil. This one here is in, I don't know what shade, because the shade kind of rubbed off. But guys, this here, it is more like a flat, and I really like this because I just go up this way. The formula is really nice. It is pretty waxy, but a dry wax, so it's not like it's a wet wax where it's gonna move around on you. This one's really nice, and it does come with a brush on the other end, which is really nice. And then I have the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit. I ended up snagging a few of these for days that I don't really want to fill my brows in, fill that out. In terms of mascaras that are amazing that we have not received in beauty subscriptions, I thought it would be fair to show you one that I thought was coming in a beauty subscription, didn't, and I had to grab it and fell in love with it all year. And it is the Pretty Vulgar Full Reals Mascara. To pay out of pocket for it tells you something. It is the best. I absolutely love this little brush applicator. The formula is moussey, not super wet, but not super dry either. It pumps up your lashes like it's nobody's business. Let's get into lippies, but I think it's more fair to talk about formulas rather than the actual shades, only because, I mean, a lot of these shades are super dupeable within all sorts of brands. So I will kind of like mention this one really quickly. The Everlasting Liquid Lipstick formula by Kat Von D is amazing. It's comfortable. It doesn't wear off fast. It feathers very nicely where it's not like super messy. Really comfortable. I think it's very similar to the Smashbox. With this one here is the one that I have on my lips right now. This is Deep Thoughts. It's what I have on my lips right now. These formulas are just beautiful. I also really do enjoy the Huda Beauty mattes. This is the liquid matte Huda Beauty lippies. Whenever I see them in Ipsy for like a really cheap price, I make sure I snag as many shades as I can, because I mean, I love it so much, but why not get it at a reduced price, right? So these formulas are beautiful, but if I gotta tell you, when it comes to Huda Beauty, these are my favorite, and I have a few other shades. It feels like a lip balm. I swear to you, it feels like a lip balm. It goes on like a lipstick, and it looks like a liquid lipstick. It's like all three in one. When it comes to like tube lipsticks, these are my freaking favorite, and I wish I can get the whole entire collection, but I looked into the price and girl, that's out of my budget. And last but not least, let's get into setting sprays. I have 3 to show you guys, and I'm not just gonna like, I'm not even gonna like drive you guys nuts. I'm just gonna show you. Remember, no matter what, the iconic Prep Set Glow is my favorite. This one here is in the bronzed shade, and it doesn't really make your makeup set and stay for a really long time, but it smells beautiful. I'm obsessed with this, and it does give you like that bronzy extraness of like a luminosity and glow. So this is my favorite. I've been using it all year, and I'm so happy I have a backup. And then the other 2 that I have that are really good are these 2 over here. The Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I also have it in the strawberry. I have it up here in front of me just in case I need it. But I really like the concept of this little sprayer. I like that you just kind of keep going. It smells really nice, and I like that it has the continuous spraying feature. And then we have the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face spray. I honestly thought, because of the type of bottle, that it was gonna be a continuous mist spraying situation. It's not. And guys, this will set your makeup all day. I'm not kidding. It won't make you greasy. It won't nothing. It's just flat. It just makes your makeup just sit. Typical Huda Beauty. It just smells amazing. So this one is really good too. All right, that is all I have for my 2019 beauty favorites. And I say that as if it wasn't a lot. This was a freaking lot of stuff. But 2019 was an amazing year in beauty. There were so many launches, so many great products to try and play around with. Some of these items were new for 2019 and some of these items were actually items that I had from the previous year, but they were very much loved. So I wanted to give love to both the newer stuff and the older stuff because I wouldn't own it unless I absolutely loved it. You know what I mean? So yeah, these were the items that I visited the most in 2019. And let me know down below which was your favorite. Do we have any of these in common? Do you feel the same with regards to some of the items that I'm talking about? Are you interested in trying any of these items for yourself that you haven't already tried? Chime in down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. And with that, that is a wrap up for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this lengthy video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and stay tuned to the end screens where I'm suggesting some other videos I feel like you're really going to enjoy as well. And with that, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.